Okay, so I've watched a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do a wood floor. I'm by no means an expert. In fact, this is my very first time. This is the floor that I have to redo. This was original subflooring, a house that was built in the 1950s. And it's beautiful pine. It's all throughout the house. But they actually covered it over with carpet. And it looks like at one point it was actually uncovered and it had an area rug through here and was actually stained by the sun. You can see some of the oxidation. I'm guessing that's what that is on the wood. So what we're going to be doing is using this drum sander that I rented from a local rental shop. They rent for about 50 bucks for a half day, close to 90 for a full 24-hour day. And it came with a bagging system, right where this vacuum hose is connected. I saw a lot of people were having issues with that bagging system, so we're actually going to give it a try. Hooked up to a regular 5.5 horsepower shop vac that I borrowed from my dad. I've heard that this can be really difficult. I've seen a lot of horror stories, heard a lot of horror stories, but I've also heard from some folks that it's fairly easy. So the idea is just to sand that top layer off and hopefully get through some of the staining that we're seeing here, where the dog is messed on the floor and maybe other things have been spilled here and there, and reveal that beautiful undercoat that is there. It's probably 3/4 inch, I'm guessing. It's like I said, it's original hardwood floor. So I'll keep you updated on the progress as we go, and hopefully I don't ruin the floor. Here we go. And we're back. So this is after about an hour of sanding. There's a small patch left on this side. This isn't a huge room, it's about 150 square feet, but it's certainly looking a lot better. I still have some stain that you saw there before with the chair where the puppy dog was wetting on the carpet. It all just kind of soaked down in there and it's oxidized the wood. That's a deep stain. I don't know how much of that I'll be able to get out. But what I did, I started with a 20 grit sandpaper with this drum sander, which brought a lot of the stains out. Some of the deep set stains, like I said, we just really are not going to be able to help. But this really isn't, it's not a huge project. The drum sander is not that difficult to use. There's actually a lever right here. You set that down and it actually sets the drum on the floor. And you lift it back up when you're ready to stop. You never want to run the drum sander in one place at the same time or it'll dig into the floor really deeply. So what we did, I opened up this window here to allow for some ventilation and then cracked this window and stuck this floor fan in it. And it's just been sucking a lot of the airborne dust out of the room and blowing it out the window. And put this bit of plastic here on the door to try and keep all of this room just isolated with the dust to keep it from getting into the rest of the house. Fortunately, we don't have a return vent inside the room, but if you're running your air conditioning and you have a return vent in the room that you're actually sanding, you're going to want to turn your air conditioning off so that all that dust doesn't get up inside your HVAC system and blow it into the rest of the house. So again, about an hour's worth of sanding. I still have a little bit more that I need to do before I do the finish sanding. I'll move from 20 grit to 60 grit and then 100 grit to really make this a nice smooth floor with minimal scratches. There is an outer edge that the floor sander, the drum sander that I'm using did not get to. I'm gonna have to come back with a corner sander or a hand sander, some type of rotary sander with an edge. Sanding all the sides down, getting pretty close. Some spots have been really frustrating, like this one right here. And these spots here, where the urine was, basically anywhere the urine was, it's actually somehow wicking back up. I have no idea how. It actually feels wet. My wife touched it. She was like, okay, so that's really weird. It actually feels like it's still wet. I touched it too and it was still wet. And the dog hasn't been here for almost 2 years, so I'm not really sure how that happened. But what I'm doing now is I'm using this small belt sander to go around and kind of touch up. There's been some spots on the floor that I found that needed some touching up, as well as getting in close to the walls where the big sander couldn't get, the big drum sander. And then I've been using this small handheld vibrating sander as well to get in up underneath, as far as I can underneath these baseboard water heater style heaters. Although we're not really using them, I can't take them out, so doing our best to get up under there. And honestly, some of the process has been really frustrating. If you look down close enough, you can see where the drum sander with the higher grit, even after I came back with the lighter grit, actually left grooves and things like that. So I don't know if you can really see that or not. Right there. So this stuff right in here, just the light grooves. I gotta go back over that with a belt sander. And it's like that all over the floor. Some places are worse than others, like this here. That's all pretty bad. And the finish that we were going for was like that. You know, nice, smooth, beautiful finish. And honestly, the process was getting frustrating at times, and at one point I was just kind of like, I want to just go ahead and, you know, not really call it quits, but just, I wanted to go ahead and varnish the floor and just get it over with. And I have a tendency to do that sometimes, not really finish projects all the way. So I'm going to see this through all the way. One of the main reasons I think that has changed my perspective is a passage out of the Bible, 1 Corinthians, no, not 1 Corinthians, Colossians 3:23. Sorry, got my verse wrong, but it says, "And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto man." So doing things on my own, sometimes I settle for not the best that I can possibly be at any point. And I think something that we have to realize when we're doing work projects, you know, working on the floor like this, or at our job, or anything that kind of gets monotonous to the point where we're just frustrated and we want it to be over, is just keep that in mind, that we have the opportunity to do what we're doing. We have the ability to do what we're doing as a gift from God. And we should take that and we should utilize that and say, you know what, I'm just going to do this like I'm doing this for God, like this is God's house, even though it's not. And, you know, I'll never reach perfection. It's the best. Perfection, what God wants, is the best that I could possibly do. And it kind of technically is His house too, because everything that He's given us, everything that we have, He's given us, regardless of whether it's something that we worked for or not. So this place is a blessing, and I'm going to do my best to get this done. I'm probably going to spend another 2 hours or so sanding in here before I actually get to vacuum and put the first coat of varnish down. But this is going to be a gorgeous floor when I get done. And I know I'm going to be able to look back and just appreciate the process and appreciate realizing that fact that I'm not just doing this for me, that the work that I do is going to reflect my Creator. So hopefully that is something that speaks to you, and I just felt God leading me to share that. So yeah, there's the step that we're at now, and I'll tune you back in with the next step in the process, which will be the final product. Okay, so this is after the Minwax varnish coat. We found out that the stuff that we got is actually not a floor poly, and this is supposed to be like a poly and stain in one. This was actually meant for furniture, so I'm going to have to put a coat of floor poly down that will help protect the floor after the fact. But this is kind of the finished result. There's still a couple of stains and things like that. We did the best that we could to brighten it all up, lighten it all up, but this is how it's turning out. And I think it's got a lot of character. Definitely removed a lot of the little stains here and there, and it's developed a really nice finish. It's actually pretty close to the original, which is what we were going for. So I will put that final coat of poly down and let you see the complete finished project in the video from beginning to end.